Hi there, welcome to the We Are West Grand Talk Show. Today I am on location at West Grand High School, and as you can see, I am in the heart of the West Grand Robotics Lab, joined by all three of our robotics teams. So guys, thanks for joining me on the show today.
Our pleasure.
All right, so what we want to do is just kind of start off with having you guys introduce yourselves. I'll start over here with Alan, and then you guys can just kind of go across. Talk about how long you've been a part of robotics, what year you are in school, some of those types of things. And so, Alan, I'm going to let you go first.
So my name is Alan. I'm the programmer of 7224. This is my first year in FTC, and I've had 3 overall years in robotics. I'm a freshman in high school.
My name is Levi. This is my first year in FTC. I am a freshman, a co-team captain. I have 4 years in FLL.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I am the co-team captain as well as the co-project manager for Team 7224, and I've been involved with FIRST for a total of 6 years.
Hey, I'm Jaden. I'm a senior this year. I'm a team captain of Team 8805, and I've been involved with the FIRST program for 6 years now.
I'm Lori Birch. I'm the coach of the West Grand Robotics team, and I have been involved with FIRST for 13 years now.
Since the dawn of time.
Certainly more than 6 years, right?
Definitely
Yeah.
more than 6. I think it's 13. Since 2006, let's put it that way.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Jessica Gregory. I am the programmer for Team 8805. I have been in FIRST for 6 years now, and I'm a junior. So.
Okay, awesome.
I'm Sierra Bensing. I'm project manager for Team 8805. I've been in the FIRST program for 4 years, 1 year in FL, and I am a junior in high school.
Awesome.
I am Andrew Peacock. I am a freshman, and I've been in West Grand Robotics for 2 years, and I am a project manager.
I'm Matthew Mancuso. I am a freshman, and this is the first year I have joined, and I am a programmer of team 12 to 68.
12 to 68. We'll just zoom right in on that. Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. So, what I want to have you guys do is just kind of talk to our viewers a little bit about what FTC really is. So, we see these really awesome robots that are sitting here on the table in front of us, and that's wonderful, but there's so much more to FTC than just the robots.
Yes.
So I know we have some seniors here who've been involved for a long time. Some juniors have been involved for quite a while. Doesn't have to be them, but maybe talk just a little bit about just what is FTC.
Yeah, so I think Jay and I will go ahead and tag team this question. So in FIRST, there are different leagues or levels of competition and participation. There's Junior FLL, there's FLL, which stands for First Lego League, so that's where they build with all the Lego robots. Then there's FTC, which stands for First Tech Challenge, and then the highest level is FRC, which stands for First Robotics Challenge. So we participate in the FTC part of the competition. I've been personally participating for the last 4 years, so has Jaden. And the way FTC works, they work with about these sized robots, about 18 inches by 18 inches by 18 in volume. And each year there is a game that is announced and revealed that then teams will go into the season and build their robot around the competition in order to compete in it.
And yeah, it's just like any other sport or anything like that. The goal is to score as many points as we can in the time limit that we have, and we have kits of parts that we take at the beginning of the year and use those to build our robots and just come up with ideas and be as effective as we can. So
the one thing that kind of expands upon FIRST, along with the competition aspect, there is the whole aspect of teamwork, team dynamic, and what FIRST likes to make known as gracious professionalism. So you have your whole robot competition, you've got all those things where teams are going against each other, but along with it, there is the whole aspect of working with other teams, being on alliances with other teams, cooperating, communicating with different kids throughout the program, which helps build strong people that can carry those skills into the workforce.
Excellent. So actually, let's maybe build on that just a little bit more, Jonathan. I'm glad you talked about that.
Yeah.
Maybe some others can take this, or
Absolutely.
but specific to the team aspect. I mean, you guys all talked about different roles that you have within your team. So, what do you see happening with the work you do here with West Grand Robotics in terms of just that team dynamic and how maybe over time that has
You want to tackle my
taken on something for you?
So I'm a co-team captain of Team 7224, and what that is I am co-team captain with Johnny, and instead of just having one team captain that runs the team, you have two that can essentially tag team the team, and then just going through each aspect, doing a little bit here and there for programming or for electrical, or like everything brings together there. And then just going into the future farther, like if you get out of high school, or like not if you get out of high school, just when you get out of high school, just like different jobs that you can get into. Like Alan, he can get a job like with his technical or tech ability that he has just from doing programming. Now he can get that much farther ahead when he comes out of high school.
Okay, awesome.
The reason we separate the teams into our different team roles that we have is because it allows us to break down what we need to get done, and it has one person tackling the project instead of having 3 people tackle the same project, or having an entire team tackle the robot and then the engineering notebook. And with our team dynamic, it's really easy for all of us this year to have a team dynamic. And so what has been unique about this year is that we are all very close to each other. Like, all of us teams have helped out each other team in different ways, and with a robot and with programming, and the team dynamic is just really good this year. Like, we work really well together.
And one more thing about the team role aspect is that a person will work on what they're actually good at. Like, I work on programming because I'm good at it, but if I was a mechanical engineer, I'd probably break something. So
There's an aspect of inclusion that we focus on with our program, because FIRST doesn't require you to have on a team to have different roles. If everybody participates on the robot, everybody participates in the notebook, that's cool, go for it. But the reason we like to approach it the way that we've done it the last 4 years is it allows kids to come into the program no matter what interests, no matter what skills or mindsets they may have, and be able to find a place where they can be effective on a team. And it also translates into the work field. When you go into the work field, you're not going to have, select people you want as a part of your work team. You're going to have to learn to work with others. You're going to have to learn to fit into your job position and to communicate, to cooperate with other people. So the way we've set it up can really help translate into the professional world.
Okay, awesome. So, Ms. Birch, what I'm curious about with you, and so each and every one of these kids do such a phenomenal job of being able to speak for your program. But each and every year, and of course you've got, some really strong seniors who are going to graduate. It's not if they graduate, Levi, it's when they graduate, right? So I guess, what are some things that you look for and expect and hope and want to see happen with the program?
I think it's always growth. It goes down to one of the things that we have always embraced, and Johnny and Jake being these 2 seniors that have been with me for the first time for 6 years, they definitely have been with me the longest, but one of those things that we have embraced as a group is that growth mentality, and that's what's allowed us to get to this point. And they're laughing at this because their whole goal is to make me cry, and you happen to do it by asking me the right question, and that's really what it's about. And so because we have embraced that mentality of, you might come in not knowing that job so well, or you might come in that person that is timid at public speaking. But through this program, you're really allowed to grow. And it's about us all identifying our own individual skills and growing together. And the more we can assess where our weaknesses are, where our strengths are, and continually to grow, then we all benefit. And that's really how you increase it over time.
That's awesome. Well, it's, for the last almost 2 years now, I've gotten, a really good opportunity to observe you guys and to come in and, be part of, kind of that external review to help you guys the very tiny little bit that I've been able to do. But it's certainly been fun for me watching, and I'll continue, of course, to watch going forward. But specifically for the two seniors, it's been awesome watching you guys.
Yeah.
And even just seeing the change from a year ago to where you guys are now. So it's pretty awesome. And I'll stop now, Lori, so I don't make you cry. But so yeah, so let me shift in a whole different direction that'll maybe take us away from making Miss Birch cry. And I guess the thing I want to ask about, two really big key things that I know are a huge part of what you guys do with robotics. One is the community partnership. And then another one, I'm going to throw you a curveball because I didn't tell you in advance. I was going to ask about this. You guys have talked a lot about the notebook. I know about the notebook, but I bet our viewers don't. So let's start with the notebook. I don't care who goes there. Okay. And then we'll talk about community partnerships.
I'm going to start with our notebook.
Okay.
An engineering notebook is what we present in technical judging, and technical judging is us showing who we are to these people that don't even know us. So we are presenting our school, our team, our mentor and coach when we go and present. So our notebook holds all of the information about our team. It holds everything about our robot, about what we do during class. It holds our community outreach. It has every information that people can need. And the reason we do an engineering notebook is to show who we are, and parts of what you win awards for is showing your step-by-step struggles you've had with the robot and how you overcame it, and step-by-step of how we came with this idea and why we decided to put these lights on, or why we decided to use a linear actuator instead of a linear slide. It's my baby, but it's got our team section, which shows it tells who we are, what we do in first, what we like to do outside of school, and our strategy. Our strategy is we came up last year with a strategic plan that would be the basis for everything we do, and be the basis for how we go about building our robot, how we go about doing outreach.
So, as far kind of building off of what she said, the notebook is basically, there's the actual good one, a collection of documents. And that basically is to demonstrate and tell your team's story, because they don't want you to just show up there with the robot. As far as FIRST is concerned, FIRST is more than robots, so that's what's really important. So basically you're supposed to lay out a notebook. It's supposed to include stuff about your team journey, your struggles, kind of what you've overcame throughout the season, as well as documenting, your hours spent, your forms of outreach, as well as documenting the engineering process and your drawings and the math and the calculations, all that's gone behind it, of course, being robotics and kind of the messy environment it can be. You never know what you may find here from time to time. But having your weekly documentation, it's really supposed to be a representation of that story your team has taken that season. And when you're presenting that to the judges, it's really a collection and a documented form of that journey. So it plays a big role, especially when being up for some of the other awards that FIRST offers, besides just winning alliance or winning team, that there's multiple different awards that coincide with this notebook that can help your team progress.
Another part of our engineering notebook, like Miss Birch said, we take growth seriously, and we like to integrate that into our notebook. And you can see as you flip through the original drawings and our strategy and just all of it, you can see how our team grew and how it how we improved on different aspects of the robot, and how we improved on our dynamic, and how we improved on communication. And so it's really just supposed to show the growth of the team.
Okay, now I want to come back to community outreach here in just a minute. Yeah. But what I want to do is really just ask one quick question at 12-268, because you guys were a completely brand new team this year. So what did you see as maybe your biggest challenge, and what would you guys say is the thing you're most proud of 12-268 this year?
The most proud thing of 12-268 was that we, for the first time, had made into state. And some challenges that we ran through was getting our robot programming done, because originally I was programmer and I had no idea at all what I was doing. So after a while I decided that I would become project manager, and he joined the team and became programmer. And learned and got our robot to start moving around.
Did you learn a lot this year, Matt, about the programming?
Not much.
Not as much as you would have wanted.
He also just came in a semester. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Landon Williams was also another integral part of
Yeah.
12268, which really got him up and running, but he wasn't able to be here today.
Well, and I would tell you, I think it's pretty amazing just simply adding the third team and just being able to get into a position to be able to compete. But to be able to qualify for state, I think is really awesome. So kudos to you guys. I mean, that's a huge step. And I know how much growth means to this entire program. So I think that's something that's really, really awesome. So talk to me just a little bit. I guess maybe this will be my last question. Specific to some of the community partnerships, community outreach across the state in the area that you guys do with robotics, because you guys do a lot.
Yeah. So ever since Jaden's my freshman year, even actually before that, let's take a step back. Since we were involved in our school's FLL program, that there's always been an aspect of reaching out to the community, whether it's looking for sponsorships or letting people know about our program, letting them know what we're doing, what we're participating in. Us as an organization, we really strive to connect that bridge between our teams and our organization, as well as the community, and not just local community, expanding on to whether it's different counties or going towards the Front Range and making a statement at the kickoff event at the start of the year. We've really made it a priority, and I think that's that's a highlight where our organization shines. I don't know, do you want to add on to that?
I guess something that I think that I'm personally really proud of with our outreach is the kiddos. When we do things like Tech Night and things like that, and we're reaching out because we've seen what this has done for us, and we've seen the changes that this has that we've seen in ourselves, and the growth that we've seen in ourselves and in our friends. And being able to reach out to kids and bring them into the Lego program and see those things.
Demonstrations of outreach.
See those same skills be built and be able to help those kids grow, I think is a really, really cool part of our outreach as well.
Which we've done examples for participating in the Grand Futures Children's Fair. We've helped volunteer at our school science night. We've done events such as Tech Night, which is a big highlight for us, very fun one. We've done stuff where we make a float and we go into the parade. We've had stuff where we've even gone and while we were in Spokane, Washington last year for Super Regionals, met with the fire department and engineering aspects that can be used in the real world. We've met with the people working on the local fire that took place this fall, and we're working with the fire helicopters, and we were able to talk to them and experience stuff. So the thing is we've really taken that approach to jump at any opportunity we can see, and how can we incorporate those real life elements into our program, and how can we continue to strengthen those relationships.
And to add on to what Jaden was saying about the kiddos, some of us, we help mentor our 2 FL teams, our 2 elementary and middle school teams, and something I love seeing them realize things, and they just have a lot of fun, and that really helps bring new members as they come up into high school, and I feel like that's one of our big things, and I think it's really cool.
One more thing about when we outreach, when you said across the state, it reminded me that we have made friends with other teams, and it helps us when we have problems, and it also helps when we go to competition, we get to see them, and it's cool to make friends. 5196.
Yep.
Right?
Shout out to
Yetis.
Robo Yetis.
Shout out to the Yetis. They're one of our favorite. I think they're one of my favorite teams to go see because they all wear jumpsuits. They have fur feet, and it's cool to keep in contact with them. Like they came down for a scrimmage that we had at the way beginning of the year, and we got to see like what they were doing, and it kind of helped us with like our robot, and like it helps us maintain that gracious maintain that gracious professionalism, like making friends at the competitions and stuff. This is great.
I would say with a couple of the other last outreach things, you know, we've worked hard to even try to start other FTC teams. So we helped start 2 FTC teams now in Granby. We helped them start the first one last year, and then they added another one this year. So we continue to help them and work closely with them so that they can progress in the same way we have. And then the other area where I think us being in Kremlin struggles just a little bit is with engineering outreach. A lot of the teams we compete against actually have engineers as their mentors that are there on a daily basis.
Not just
and so,
here, but across the state. There's
across
teams,
the state.
There's
I
teams
mean,
that, I didn't mean state, country. There's teams
Yeah.
in California that have partnerships in Silicon Valley with Intel and Nvidia and all these crazy
so,
things.
you know, I think for us, that's always one of the areas where we want to continue to progress, finding innovative ways to do that because of how isolated we are and everyone has busy schedules, and trying to figure out those partnerships is still something that we've been fortunate enough to use a little bit in the community, but it's something we definitely want to continue to grow with.
Okay, so I lied. I have one more question. And this is specifically for the juniors.
Okay.
So these great seniors are going to graduate. That's really awesome. And I mean, this is really for the whole group, but really, Jess and Sarah, you guys can speak to this, I think, best. What's next for West Grand Robotics?
Next year, I've thought a little bit about it, and Ms. Hack and I have actually sat down and brainstormed ways about how we can improve, because we have so much potential as a team. 8805 and 7224 and 1268. We all have so much potential. We just don't carry it out as much as we used to. Like, we don't push ourselves to be the best we can be. So I think for next year, what I want to do is we want to, at the beginning of the year, sit down with the engineers and be like, okay, this is what we did last year. What can we do this year to improve it? Once we figure out the game, we will sit down and we can make drawings, and our engineering notebook will be more like, because one of the purposes of having an engineering notebook is having people like add to it, like have everyone on the team know what's in it and have everyone on the team add into it. And that's what we want to, that's what I personally want to do next year, is have the engineers add things into the engineering notebook by themselves and know like where everything is at, and know how to make drawings and how to do the math and science behind and physics behind the robot.
And something we've been working on for the past few years is getting more into that engineering process, actually going through it, not just trial and error, doing the math, documenting every single prototype, every single idea we have. That's a big thing for next year. But we're also going to continue to have fun and grow like we always do.
Yeah, see, that competition, we know how to have fun in competition.
We get everyone dancing. It's great.
Yeah.
I saw video of that.
Yeah.
It was good.
But
So,
I do have high hopes for
Yeah.
next year. Like, I know that next year is going to be a good year. I can feel it.
Same.
well, definitely if you show the same kind of growth that you guys showed this year from last year, there's no question about that. So the last thing that I want to do, we always wrap up the show, and typically it's me saying we are West Grand, but I would rather that came from you guys. So maybe on 3, give me one big "We are West Grand." So
We are West Grand!